Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. Basically, if you go back to Monday and Tuesday, I'm going back and talking about the Titus O'Neil versus Vince McMahon altercation that took place on Monday. I basically thought that it was a small deal that I thought Vince McMahon flipped out over. And at first, it was reported that it was supposed to be a 90-day suspension. This was scaled back to a 60-day suspension, and even more news is coming out over the fact of Titus O'Neil getting suspended. Today, there was an article written in the New York Post talking about the story, where basically they went into detail of everything that happened, basically after the Daniel Bryan retirement, as the superstars were going to make their way to the back. Daniel Bryan and Brie made their way through the pile, and as Raw was going off, Vince McMahon, Stephanie, and Triple H went from the front of the pack, sort of splitting their way through the superstars to make their way to the back. And as, Vince McMahon passed by Titus O'Neil reached out and grabbed his arm to the point where he said, "Ladies first," mentioning the fact that Stephanie McMahon should be the first one to walk off the stage with Vince following in tow. And because of this whole deal, basically Vince turned around and he pushed Titus. And in this, part of the story, this is when Stephanie McMahon almost fell over. Vince, even though he looked like on stage as he was on television, looked like he was in good spirits about this. The moment he went through the curtain, he blew a gasket, and basically, wanted to fire Titus O'Neil. Everybody knows the story. Titus O'Neil ended up showing up to SmackDown, and the moment that he was able to check in to the arena, he was told to go home. He was served with a 90-day suspension. I'm guessing they had to talk to Human Resources. And due to this story coming out, that WWE has released a statement from Titus O'Neil. I know that Titus went to his Instagram account and posted a picture with a Bible verse on it, basically saying that he had to learn from his mistakes. But WWE actually released a statement from Titus O'Neil that was in a text message, feeling that he's saying that I feel like shit now. If you have to let me go, I understand. Stupid mistake, according to WWE. Vince McMahon did want to let Titus O'Neil go from his contract. I know that most people will say that Titus O'Neil is a jobber, I guess you can say, a lesser-known superstar. He was on a 12 match winning streak on Raw and SmackDown, and I can honestly tell you that I had no clue. I didn't even know. There was times, like with the first breakup of the Primetime Players, where Titus O'Neil looked like he was going to go on a run as a heel, and, shortly you could tell when he was doing run-ins from the back with all of the other geeks that Titus O'Neil really wasn't going anywhere. But Titus O'Neil won a big award of, I think he was either Father or Dad of the Year. And with this, Titus has been doing a lot of press for WWE. And that was probably one of the most surprising things about the fact that that they would let him go, seeing with all of WrestleMania that is coming up around the corner. That was one of the reasons why they were really, desperate to get Alberto Del Rio back into the fold. But actually, Vince decided that he didn't need Titus O'Neil. He needed to send a message to the locker room to quit messing around. And it was actually Triple H and Joey Mercury who talked him out of terminating the contract, basically saying to just let the suspension roll and let the guy come back. And I'm sure he'll be a better employee because of the fact that he would want to be a part of WWE once again. So we'll see what's going on with this story. Maybe more will come out of this, but if not, Titus O'Neil will be sitting home for 60 days.